Sure. Here's the English translation of that passage. Chubby Cat Town was full of creatures, where all creatures, from cats, dogs, and rabbits to birds and squirrels, lived in harmony. At a small corner near the Central Park stood a pale yellow house, its balcony covered in blooming bougainvillea vines. That was the home of Tom the cat, a gray and white feline with fur as soft as velvet, well known in the neighborhood for his kind heart, his willingness to help others, and most notably, his deep love for grilled fish. One afternoon, just like any other, Tom leisurely stepped out of the house, carrying a small cloth bag embroidered with the image of a fish. The weather was cool, and golden sunlight, soft like honey, poured gently onto each cobblestone. Tom strolled along the street, humming his self-composed song. Fish, where are you? Let me know if you'd like me to translate or adapt this into a full bilingual story. Here is the English translation of that passage. Suddenly, from a distance, the sound of a car horn echoed through the air. Tom turned his head to look. A deep red car glided past, gleaming under the sunlight, its wheels spinning smoothly. The window was slightly rolled down, revealing a German shepherd wearing sunglasses, one paw casually resting on the window frame like a movie suit. Right behind it came another vehicle, a moss green SUV driven by the beautiful bunny lady from the neighborhood. The back of her car was filled with fresh carrots and vegetables. Tom stood frozen, his eyes widened, his heart pounded fast. Why can everyone drive except me? I only know how to walk. How boring. From that very moment, a dream began to spark inside Tom's heart to learn how to drive. Want me to keep translating the rest of the story into English too? Here's the English translation of that paragraph. That night, Tom lay on his fluffy cushion by the window, tossing and turning, unable to sleep. Normally, after a good meal, he would fall asleep in an instant, snoring happily. But tonight, images of cars kept flashing through his mind like a film stuck on repeat. Tom suddenly sat up, opened his notebook, and wrote down the very first line. Goal: learn to drive as soon as possible. Let me know if you'd like to continue with the next part. Here is the English translation of that passage. The next morning, Tom woke up earlier than usual, but carefully groomed his fur, slung his bag over his shoulder, and didn't forget to bring a box of dried fish for lunch. He headed straight to the safe and happy driving school, the biggest training center in town. When Tom stepped inside, the entire reception area seemed to freeze. A cat, wearing a checkered shirt, carrying a cloth bag, and walking with such confidence. The tabby receptionist stammered. You're here for what? I want to learn how to drive, Tom answered clearly. Right at that moment, a teacher stepped out, Mr. Nair, the famous and strict but kind-hearted instructor. He looked at Tom for a long moment, then suddenly burst into hearty laughter. A cat learning to drive? Now that's rare, but I see no reason to stop a determined student. Welcome to class. Want to keep going with the translation? Here is the English translation of that passage. The first lesson left Tom feeling both excited and panicked. The training car was specially adjusted for Tom's small frame, a smaller steering wheel, a lowered seat, and pedals equipped with levers to fit his paws. Mr. Now placed a hand on Tom's shoulder and said, Don't be afraid. Every great driver starts with clumsiness. But as the car started to move, Tom accidentally stepped on the gas, making the car turn. Tom screamed. The car stalled. Tom was trembling. Mr. Knapp remained calm. It's okay. Let's try again. Let me know if you'd like to continue with the next one. Here's the English translation of that paragraph. The entire morning was a blur for Tom. Start, drive, stop, restart, reversing correctly, shift to the wrong gear, and at one point, even turn on the music thinking it was car. By the end of the day, Tom sat down on the curb, his shirt soaked with sweat. I don't know if I can do this, teacher. Mr. Nam sat down beside him and patted Tom's head. You've already started, and that's the hardest part. The rest is just practice. Let me know if you'd like me to continue with more. Here's the English translation of that passage. The following days were a series of tiring ones. Tom came home exhausted every evening, but still sat down to carefully note every mistake and every little lesson learned. Tom made his own progress chart and pinned it to the wall. Each time he performed a task well, he stuck a fish-shaped sticker on the chart. Slowly, the entire wall became covered with fish, a testament to his hard work and progress. Let me know if you'd like to continue or make any adjustments. Here's the English translation of that passage. Tom learned how to climb hills without stalling, mastered the skill of reverse parking, practiced observing the mirrors, and how to handle obstacles. On some days, when it rained heavily and classes were postponed, Tom still went to the training field, sitting in the car reading the theory book. Gradually, Tom no longer feared the sound of the engine, and his hands stopped shaking every time he made a turn. Each time he looked into the rearview mirror, Tom saw his own reflection, no longer a clumsy cat, but a real driver. Let me know if you want to continue translating or adjust anything. Here's the English translation of that passage. The test day arrived. The exam field was packed with students. People, dogs, rabbits, squirrels, and only Tom, the cat, stood out. Everyone looked at Tom with curious eyes. But Tom didn't mind. His heart raced, but his hands were steady. The car rolled forward. Every move, every technique, Tom performed them perfectly. When the test ended, Mr. Nam stood outside, holding his phone, recording the entire process from start to finish. He didn't say a word, just smiled. The results were announced. Tom passed, with almost perfect marks. Applause rang out. Someone shouted loudly, "Tom the cat is amazing!" Tom looked up at the sky, his eyes a little teary. "I did it!" Let me know if you'd like to continue or need any adjustments. Here's the English translation of that passage. A few days later, Tom received his driver's license. A small piece of paper, but it contained an entire journey. Tom used his savings for 3 years, plus a special scholarship from Mr. Nam, to buy a small, bright yellow car. Tom named the car Red because it was round, warm, and smelled of roses. Let me know if you'd like me to continue or need any adjustments. Here's the English translation of that passage. On the weekend, Tom called his friends, Bim the dog, a mobile guitar, Rice hedgehog, an amateur photographer, and Orange Squirrel, a snack expert. Everyone get ready to hang out. Driver Tom will take the group to watch the sunset. The car sped down the road. The music lively and the friends laughed together. They passed hills, rice fields, and small streams, eventually stopping by a hillside covered in yellow flowers. The group spread out a blanket, drank fruit juice, and ate the fuzzy sandwiches Tom had made. The wind blew gently, the scented flowers drifted, and the sky slowly turned a vibrant orange red. Tom stood next to the car, watching the sunset. Before, I was just a dreaming cat watching others drive. Now, not only can I drive, I'm living that dream with my friends. Let me know if you'd like to continue or adjust anything.